hope for the future, joy for your life, singles and married, joy for your life, singles and married.
Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome, good evening, wherever you are. It might be morning, it might be afternoon, and it might be evening where you're tuning in from. We are all over the world, and just welcome to this episode that we are launching this new year with Pastor Chris. And he's going to join us in any moment now. That we are here to discuss about relationships, sharing stories, and it's going to be every Thursday. So make sure you tune in. Everyone who is actually out there that is thinking about relationship, call your friends, call your family, all the people who are out there and already thinking about relationship or are already in a relationship, get them to join in. You don't want to miss this episode. So with that said, I'd like to welcome in Pastor Chris to come and join us, who is going to be our host and the pastor that's leading this awesome program that we're going to be enjoying every Thursday night at 7 o'clock UK time and 8 o'clock Nigerian time, and whichever time it is where you're joining us.
Hello, it's Sister AJ. Good evening,
Welcome,
God bless you.
Pastor. It's wonderful.
I'm so excited, with this topic, especially this live program we're starting today. I'm so excited to talk, to participate in it, to be in it, and I'm sure many lives will be blessed today.
Yes, it will. Honestly, I am so excited. And we are starting the year, kicking off the year with this program that we're going to be having every Thursday. I am sure people are going to be so blessed, not just by the insights you're going to share with us, but we're also going to be dealing with real life stories. That is one of the best part of it. So it's not like fiction or made up. It's like real life stories about relationships. And that is going to be the key, and how to apply it. And so this is like live, and I'm saying to everybody, go and call your friends, family, share the link, get them involved. We're going to be discussing. I don't want you to be passive listeners. We're going to have opportunities for you to bring in your stories, share it, have a call on the WhatsApp, and join us and really be active in this amazing weekly fellowship together and learning with Pastor Chris. So, Pastor, thank you so much for joining us and having this time and making it happen. I'm excited. So, with that said, do you want to maybe share a little about your plan for this every Thursday we're going to be having? And then after that, and then I will kind of share some of the real life story case study.
Thank you very much, EJ. Now, if you are just joining and if you have not liked the video, kindly like the video and comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know where you're watching. And if you like this episode to be on every Thursday, I would like you to say something, on the comment section. We're going to read it. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you want it to be every Thursday? We're going to be discussing true life issues, relationship issues. And you can also send yours too. If something happened in your relationship or your marriage, you can send it and we discuss it without mentioning your name, of course. And if you want to come on board and talk about what happened to you live, we'll also bring you in. But first, email me or send me an inbox, a Facebook inbox message to tell me about that. And every Thursday at this same time, we'll be meeting for 60 minutes to discuss true life story. Every day we'll discuss one relationship issue. Today's issue is a sad one, a very sad one. I will leave EJ to talk us about that.
Oh, Pastor, I am so in awe. When I read this story, I was actually very moved. I was moved in so many different levels because this woman's story, which we keep her name anonymous just for her privacy, because she sent this in to us, just like seeking for advice. So I'm going to read you her story. So listen carefully, and then we're going to highlight some of the points, and we're going to discuss it, because it is on so many different levels. This is not just only for married people, married women, or even married men, because sometimes we always think it's only the women, but there may be men also going through similar issues as well. So let's be like really open that this could happen to anybody. But
Anyone.
at this stage, this is a female that has sent this message to us. And it's not just, to a particular case, but let's read the story. So this lady, she's a sister, she's a born again Christian. This is what she says. She says, I'm going to start from the beginning. I'm going to read the whole story. So it says, "Good day, sir. By the grace of God, I am married to a believer, but I'm not happy in my marriage. When my husband has money, he will behave well. No, when my husband has no money, he will behave well. But when he immediately has money, and starts a job, he starts treating me badly. Instead, he will prefer to take care of other women. This has been going on for 5 years in our marriage. I am tired of it. I have prayed, but he still does it. He still does the same thing. When he is broke, he will tell me to pray for him to have something to do, but immediately he has no job. As soon as he has a job, he starts treating me badly again. One day, we went to a department meeting in the church. So he's also part of a departmental leaders gathering in the church. And he was one of the hosts. He called the sister to stand, and he started complimenting the sister's dress, her smile, and so on, right in front of me. Then after the meeting, some members asked me how I met my husband, because they were confused. Oh, sorry. So some of the languages is a bit, so as she's like put it, so I'm just kind of reading.
You're reading the way she wrote it. Okay.
Yes. Last year, a newcomer came into the church, and immediately he started getting close to her, that he stopped coming home. So he got close to this sister and stopped coming home, and even stopped calling her. Some members started seeing them every night. Then this new member would then will come to church the next morning and wouldn't even call her or text her. Her husband would not call her or text her. And then she started praying to God, and God answered her prayer. Another brother impregnated this sister, and the husband left her. Came back, and then the husband came back home again, saying to her, we should start all over again. We started having a good time until recently he stopped going to church with me. Now he has left the house and doesn't take my calls. What shall I do? Wow, this is packed.
This is for over 5 years. She has been in the marriage, and
she's been in a marriage, pastor, for 5 years with this man. And each time when he has money, he goes out to other women and has relationships and leave the house, don't even come home, don't answer her calls. And then as soon as he has no money, he's broke, he comes right back to her. And then he starts being nice to her. Then she will start praying for him to get some job and get something. Then once God answers that prayer, he's back on his feet. He leaves her again and goes again. And he's been doing this for 5 years. What a story. And this is true life story. And not just that, both of them are also believers.
This is pathetic, I think. It is pathetic.
Wow.
It is pathetic.
Shocking.
Okay. So maybe we'll have the audience to connect and speak, their view, their counsel, their advice, and whatever they want to say. It's so touching. It's so touching. It's so touching.
Very touching story. Very touching. And like Pastor said, guys, connect with us. Put in your comments. Tell us what you're thinking. What is your thought on this story that you've just heard? Is there any part of it that stood out to you? Is there any question you had? Are you shocked? Are you not shocked? Are you not surprised? Do you have similar stories? Do you know people in it? What is your advice? What would you say if you was in this woman's position? How do you think we should be dealing with this, both as a believer, because we are believers, and even if because you would think something like this may happen with an unbelieving husband, and then that might be a different story. But this is two believers, so share with us your comment. We are interested to hear about it.
So it's on the link is on the comment section of every platform we are streaming on. So you can just click on the link and connect. And if you want to call on the phone on WhatsApp number, the number is 0 +44 757 655 4405. We'll try and put the number on the screen. It's so touching. I think one word to describe it is pathetic. It is pathetic.
Yeah.
And now he has left now.
He has
They
left.
are not together now.
Yes.
Oh.
He has now left. So what should she do? Where does she begin?
This is so painful.
And also I think this story is a great story to start the session with.
Yeah.
And I say that because I think excuse me, I think because not just that, this is a marriage school. So it really goes across the board for those who are married, for those who are single, for those who are planning to get married, because the ultimate aim is for those who are single to be married, and for those who are married to be happily married in their marriage. So it's a great story to start to kick these sessions off, because someone doesn't want to find themselves in this kind of situation. And if you did find yourself in that kind of situation, what would you do and how could you handle it? So really tune in and don't think, oh well, that's for a married person. It has nothing to do with me. No way. Like the best learning is to learn from other people's, unfortunately, experiences. So you can actually get the wisdom from it and implement it so that you don't become that victim.
Even singles need to understand that, because when they want to marry, they want to make sure they're not marrying a man that will behave like this woman's husband.
Absolutely.
Because I'm sure the man didn't behave like that before their wedding. If not, she wouldn't have married him.
Yes.
In fact, anytime he does not have money, he behaves very well. That means he knows how to behave well. If he wants to behave well, he can behave well, but he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. Wow. He doesn't want to.
But Pastor, why do you think he doesn't want to? Why?
I think it may have to do with, the pleasures of life. We are in the end time, that many people who profess Christ are not really Christians. They are still, lusting over the things of the world, the pleasures of life, the, sex, some even take alcohol, drugs, and all that, and yet they are Christians. They go to church. In fact, they are leaders. Like this guy is a leader, she said, a leader in the church. Even though he may not be a pastor, but a leader, and he's married and he's living as if he's not married. Yes. Even some unbelievers that are married don't behave that way. They don't behave that way. So it's unfortunate. We have so many people in the church who have not fully decided to calm down. They're still looking out for the pleasures of life. They want to make heaven, and they want to have the pleasures of life at the same time. They want to eat their cake and have it back. I think that's what I think. Because no matter the kind of habit he had before getting married, if he had decided to settle down he should at least make an effort, a deliberate effort. But from all indications, he on his own is the one, tempting the ladies, not the ladies tempting.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes.
It's, that's what I think.
Once Sister Patricia said, I think the husband should receive Christian counseling which I agree, it's like he does need Christian counseling, but I think more also adding to what you said is that he needs to make a commitment to Christ.
Okay.
And actually, when he receives Christ fully and lets go of the things of the world and become more active in his relationship with Christ, and then I think that will also bring him in line to work with the relationship he has with his wife. I think sometimes it might be a reflection of both.
Yeah, I think so too. We have Sister Patricia joining us.
Oh, brilliant.
So you can talk to her.
Hello, Sister Patricia. How are you? Oh, are you on mute?
We can't hear you, Sister Patricia. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
You might be on mute.
She's not on mute. Maybe her device. I think she's using an earphone. Yeah. It came on and it's losing contact. It came on and went off. No, it's gone off. It's gone off. It's gone off again. Are you in the gym? We can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Fantastic.
Yes. Brilliant.
Okay, so talk. We can hear.
So, Sister Patricia, so tell us, what do you think? Give us your view on this dilemma one of us is facing.
Oh, I'm not sure she has a good connection.
Oh.
Can't hear you again, Sister Patricia.
So maybe we can go on to, maybe another, we can choose Ni.
Another person, yes. Nana. A name? Is it Ne? Ne, yes.
Ne. I'm not very good with these Nigerian names yet. So, Ne, are you there with us?
Yeah. Yeah, she's not connected live. It's a comment she made.
Okay. Well, as she said, he's in bondage and needs deliverance first.
Patricia is back.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Very well now.
Oh, yes. I just needed to disconnect my earbuds and I've just done it here successfully. Yes, Pastor, I think about this story, it's the man should receive Christian counseling to realize that what he's doing is wrong because, the woman is not the one going outside and doing those things with other men. So I think she might pray for him. She has remained in the marriage. It is understandable that she's not happy, that this is not a good situation. It's not the way that God wants our marriages to be. And I think that the man has to first realize that something needs to change and then decide what he's going to do from there.
The problem, Sister Patricia, is that the man is not the one that has come to us. It is the woman that has come to us. So we can't advise the man because the man is probably not listening to us. But the woman may be like you are listening to know what she should do. Okay, but the man, so it's the woman we're advising now, not the man.
Oh, not the man. Oh, wow. This is amazing.
To be the man, it would have been easier for us. We just said the man, what you're doing is not good.
Yes.
But the man is not even interested in taking any advice or counsel.
Yeah. Yes, Pastor, I see. Well, I mean, based on what we learn from you, obviously, God wouldn't want her to leave the marriage. So perhaps she has to continue holding on and praying for
But
things to change.
is there anything she can do that can turn everything around? What do you think she can do that can?
Being nice to
So she
him.
can't just start staying like that forever. Or is that what you advise? She just stay like that forever?
Being
Because the man
nice to
has
him.
even left now. She doesn't even know her fate. The man has cut off, does not take her calls, so does
Yes,
not live
Pastor.
with her again. Does not live with her.
I think, I mean, I base everything I say from what we learn from you. And I would say that in this situation, she can wait and see if the man doesn't come back at all. She can continue praying. And if he doesn't come back at all, then given the fact that he's not behaving as a believer, she may be free to move on. But I think she can wait to see, to have like the final outcome while continuing to pray and see whether the man will come back or not, and then go from there. Like as she continues to pray regarding the situation. But if the man decides that he's not coming back, she can still, if she would like him back, she can still continue to attempt to make him come back. And if he's really not coming back, then given the fact that he has fallen away from the faith right
Okay.
now,
Okay.
she might be free to move on.
Okay.
Well, thank you
Yeah,
so
that's
much for sharing that with us. It's so nice to hear your perspective, and we're still asking others to join in, send in a comment, share with us, call in on the WhatsApp, and give us, what's your take on it? What's your thought, including Sister Patricia's thoughts? What's your thoughts on what she thinks that we should be, advising this sister? Because always quite is unfortunate that sometimes, most times, is the victim, let's call her the victim in this case, is
mm,
the ones that always comes for help. Uh,
yeah.
and the person or the perpetrator,
Mm,
let's just call it that name in this scenario,
mm.
never comes for help.
Yeah.
And
They're not interested in help at all.
all. And it's such a, and you just think, how is that so unfortunate?
Mm,
Because the person that should be coming to say, I need help, this is what I'm doing, don't come, but the person who's receiving the not so
the
nice
victim,
things,
yeah.
yeah, is the one that's seeking, what shall I, looking for the help, what can I do, when they are the victim? What do you do in this case scenario, Pastor? Because it's so many elements of this, this question is, as a believer,
Mm,
the Bible tells us that God hates divorce.
yeah.
So we know that. And not just that God hates divorce, God asks it that we should live in forgiveness and
Mm,
in patience and in tolerance, and
mm,
that love conquers all things.
mm,
The Bible gives us so much examples that says that it's endurance, it's so many things. And then at the same time, you say, well, this sister has been enduring for 5 years.
mm,
How long does she continue to endure? How long does she continue to go through long suffering?
mm,
So many questions that arises out of this dilemma.
yeah.
So please, we would love to hear, what is your thoughts?
I think the first thing I will advise her to do is to find out why the husband leaves her, because
Mm,
the man married her.
mhm,
And we have billions of women all over
yes.
the world. He chose her.
Mhm,
He chose her, married her, moved in together. They started living together as husband and wife. So why would he be leaving her? Why would he leave her from time to time?
mm,
There must be something wrong.
mm,
You know, we need to know from her. Is that something she does, or she does not take good care of herself? She does not look as clean as she was looking
mhm,
before the marriage.
mm,
That's another topic that people take for granted in Christianity. People feel that because they are Christians, their focus should be prayer, prayer, fasting, prayer, fasting, prayer. They
mm,
neglect their looking after their bodies,
yes. Mm,
and for the man to be looking at other women outside obviously means that he loves women.
Mm.
And he doesn't just love any woman, you know. So if that, and for him to marry her, he must have loved her kind that made him marry her.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just that there's something, it could be something may have changed since the wedding.
Wow.
Something must have changed. So she needs to find out what she thinks is that changed and start doing it the way she was doing it before the wedding. That same thing that made the man, to choose her and marry her. Let her start putting up that behavior or dressing well or looking good. Something. There must be something. You know, no person will suddenly start maltreating the wife like that, even if he has mental issues, even if he's an unbeliever, he's
Mm.
still not something will trigger it. Something must have triggered it.
Mm-hmm.
Must have triggered it.
Yes.
So I think she should find out what has triggered it, especially in this case, she does not want to divorce. She wants to live happily. She
Mm.
wants to be happy. If she finds out what triggered it and try to correct that, if it's not corrected, no matter how many times the man comes home, he may still live again. He may still
Mm.
live until that is
Mm.
corrected.
Mm.
So my counsel is simple. Let her find out the cause of the problem. Then the
Mm-hmm.
problem can be solved easily.
Wow. Pastor, this is why I love my time with you. It's like you go straight to the root cause. You
Yes.
don't treat symptoms, you treat the root cause. Because
Yes.
if you get to the root, then you are able to, like, the
Yes.
symptoms will automatically align themselves. And that
Not
was,
all, yeah. You're
yes,
right.
sorry, please.
It's awesome. It's amazing.
That is amazing.
Mm,
It's like there was a trigger, and you made it, such a, you made so many great points there. And
mm,
one of them is that you said, not just like, she needs to go and think about what is the root cause, what
mm.
was the trigger,
What
because
triggered? Yeah.
after all, he chose her out of millions and billions of all the other. He said no to everybody else, and he chose
Yeah.
her.
Mm.
So there was something about her that stood out to him that
Yeah.
made him
Yeah.
want to marry
Yeah.
her.
I agree with you. Yeah. It's awesome. Sebastian said, Pastor, you took us to heaven with the explanation. Wow.
Fantastic. I agree with you, Sister Patricia. Oh my goodness. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Mm,
when things are not working out, what I'm really getting from this is that when things are not working out,
mm,
sometimes we need to reflect on ourselves and we need to ask, what am I, what is it in me, or possibly what is it in me that's causing this reaction?
mm, mm,
Because sometimes we might not be doing something, or we stop doing what we used to do, like Pastor said. It's like, maybe when you first dated him, you looked good, you smelled good, your
mm,
hair looked good, you
mm,
was more fun. And then suddenly now you're married, you think, oh wow, we're now married. And you forget that he is still a man,
mm,
and he still, wants to see you looking the way you used to look when
mm,
he first met you, when he first got attracted to you.
mm.
So what is it that you stopped doing?
It's amazing. Can we hear from you? If you're watching, let's just hear your view, your opinion, your comment. What do you think she can do? She's listening now and she will want to know what to do. And if you have any issue, a relationship issue, it's also important to send it to us. We can discuss it next week. So
Mhm.
every week we discuss one or two relationship issues to try to provide solutions. But we
Mhm.
want to hear your view, your own view. In the meantime, what will you advise her to do? What should she do now as she's waiting for the husband to come back now?
Mm.
What should she do?
Mm.
You can click on the link on the comment section, or you call the number on the screen, the WhatsApp number, and connect. Okay.
So then, Pastor, sorry, this question has come to me. It's like, So as we're waiting for others to join in and send their comment, share with us their thoughts, what she should
Yeah.
do, if they have any of their own relationship dilemma they would like us to address or bring to the show, please, like Pastor said, email it to us if you want to keep anonymity, and you want to just email it to the pastor, and then we would discuss it, or and keep your name out of it. Or if you're happy to share it, then you're more than welcome to share it. You choose how you want to share your story with us. Well, Pastor, one of the things that I would like to bring also to the forum is that when, first of all, like you said, she needs to think about the trigger. What is the trigger? What has started
Mm,
it? What is the root cause? Is
mm,
it something she may have done unknowingly?
mm.
She might not be conscious that she's doing it, that
Yeah.
is causing problem, because there's obviously some element of love there, because he still keeps coming back.
Back. Yeah.
So there is something about her. And then
Mm,
when he comes back, he behaves well and
mm,
he asks for forgiveness. And
mm.
then, and then when he gets money again, he goes
He
out.
moves out again. I feel for the lady. It's so pathetic. It's so pathetic. So sad. So sad.
So, with that said, you know, it would be interesting to know when if there's a possibility, and this can also happen a lot in the African nation and also in the West, because it's prolific everywhere, really. So we
Yeah.
shouldn't really just,
I think it's common everywhere. It's common.
yes, yes. And when a man, when he's doing quite well, he tends to go out and spend his money with other women, and not really give his wife the money, or or gets angry when
Mm.
it comes to giving her money, but he's quite happy to spend the money with other girls. What can a woman do that might find herself in that situation, that her husband prefers to give money to other people, other women, or even people are not family, than he's
And the family, yeah, that's another topic. It's common too. Some people like being nice outside, but inside their homes, they are beasts. When they go out, they are so nice and friendly and smiley. But once they come home, they become a beast. So they don't give money to their family, but they give to strangers, they give to ladies and all that. It's misunderstanding, serious misunderstanding. And unfortunately, those such men think that they are wise, that they are smart. So they give their wives the impression they don't have money every time they don't have money, whereas they have money. And but when they have problems, their wife will start, praying for them, you know, joining them. The other women will leave them when they have issues, but when they have, their wife will not leave them. So it's so pathetic. We need to try to start changing all that, because most people who do this, some of them are Christians, if not most of them are Christians, and they don't see it as any bad thing. They still believe they are Christians. They still do that. They go to church every Sunday. They go to church. Some are leaders in the church, because people don't talk about, we don't teach about that. We need to start enlightening people, letting them know that such things are evil, that God does not condone such things. But they do these things, they go to church, nobody preaches against them, so they don't even know that those things are bad. They only see stealing as bad. They only see like stealing. If it's stealing, they say they don't steal. But they do what they do bad things too, you know.
Yes.
But when they hear people talk about it, like we are talking about it now, people will know that it's not good. The many man listening to it will know that it's not good, because the woman is passing through a terrible situation. A terrible situation. So we just need to continue creating the awareness. People who do that are not wise at all. I don't want to say they are foolish so that it doesn't sound insulting, but they are not wise, because if they take care of their family, they'll be better. Their future will be better, everything. Most of the problems in the marriage will cease to exist. But I know that some men do that, especially when their wives are not nice to them or friendly to them. So they don't think they are punishing her by not spending the money on her. But what they don't know is that if they start spending money on her, she'll become very nice. Just like the one outside. She'll become very nice. because she will feel that she's loved. When a woman thinks that she's not loved by the husband, it's not a good thing. So she can be misbehave, you know.
Wow. That is so interesting, that point you just made. That, for sometimes for the man, it might be his way of like, punishing her or
Mm,
protesting that
yeah.
he is not happy
Mm,
about something that's happening in the home.
mm,
But, and then I think this is where maybe communication comes in,
mm,
because maybe if he doesn't tell her, or maybe he tells her and she's not listening, and
mm,
hearing his constant complaint, I'm not happy about this, I
mm.
don't like this, or you keep doing this, so I think sometimes maybe it's a case of like, do we listen to our husbands or wives when they are constantly complaining? Because
About something. Yeah.
yes, because if they're complaining and complaining and then they don't get into it, then they withhold, isn't
Mm,
it? They
mm,
withhold their
mm,
love,
mm.
or in his case, he withholds money because he
Money.
feels maybe she likes money.
Obviously, a woman needs to be taken care of, especially, if she doesn't have,
Hmm.
what if she has a career path, then maybe she may not need the husband's money, and unfortunately, such things happen so much, and
Hmm.
most people that do that are Christians. That's
Hmm.
the annoying part of it. They profess Christianity,
Hmm.
but they don't practice it.
Yes. So, on the perspective of like, as a man and also a pastor, um, how would you now advise this woman, or many women out there who may be in marriage, that their husband would rather spend his money somewhere else rather than spend it in the household, or making sure that the children, have clean clothes for school or wears, and school fees are paid, and all of those things, and the women maybe the constant person that's providing and struggling. How can she start communicating with her husband to start maybe taking on some of those responsibilities, and like not always take the money and give
And
it to other people outside, but also spend it in the house? What can she do? How can she do it?
I think it has to do with what we said earlier on about love. The man thinking that he's not loved, or the woman thinking she's not loved, or the man thinking he's not respected, and
Mm,
he's doing that as a way of punishing her, or he's being deceived by a lady outside. That's another reason such things happen. Some bad girls can know how to manipulate a man, maybe because the man loves her or likes her. They will manipulate the man and make him to be spending money on her. So no matter what the reason is, if the wife should just stop talking about the money and try to win the husband's love, the way it was before the wedding.
mhm,
I'm sure that no man will marry a woman he didn't love. So the way they were before the wedding, let her be able to bring back that love, to reactivate it. If she can do that, then there'll be no problem again. The man will stop spending money outside and start spending on her. These things happen not just men. Some women too do certain bad things too, regarding money. There was this case somebody sent to me. The woman bought the husband wanted to. The husband was owing, and the money the husband was owing, there was money they used to do something for the wife. I think they bought a car for her or something. So he wanted to buy a car for her. The car was good price. It was the woman that brought somebody that sold the car, and the husband didn't have enough money then, and said he wouldn't buy because there was no money. So the woman pleaded with him, to that they will lose the opportunity that the price was good. But the man didn't have money. The man said they should wait. But the people selling wouldn't wait. So the woman now pleaded that they should borrow money. The man said he didn't know where to borrow money from. And the woman volunteered to help him borrow money from a colleague at her place of work. So the husband accepted. And they met with the colleague, and the colleague accepted to borrow the money, gave them the money, and they bought the car for the woman. So the man was supposed to be paying every month in a certain amount. But at the time he couldn't pay. There was no money to pay. So after 1 year, the debt was still there. It was dragging. And finally, they seized the man's car. The colleague insisted I has to seize the car. They seized the man's car. And the man still couldn't pay and left the car with him. 6 years later, the man found out that the money that was borrowed to him was his wife's money.
Wow.
The wife's money. It was not the wife gave the colleague money to borrow to the man. It's something else. The
Wow.
man, he suffered because of that. He suffered. He lost his car, and the car was for her. So by that time, the wife had a car, he didn't have one. He suffered because of that. There was no money. And
Wow.
he felt so bad.
Wow.
So bad.
Wow.
He said he wasn't marrying again.
Because it feels like like the Bible says, when we marry, you become one.
One, yeah.
But I think from the stories you've shared and from the story our sister, shared with us, it's like people are no longer becoming one in their marriage. They're still living as two different persons, but under the name of marriage.
Yeah. People don't understand what marriage actually means. People don't. It used to be, people had a better understanding of it in the olden days. But in this generation, it's changing seriously. It's changing. In fact, we don't even have family values in some nations of the world. And some people don't value. In fact, they go into marriage because they see it as a relationship, like a dating period that they can leave at any time. In fact, some dating relationships are stronger than marriage relationships.
Wow.
It's a pity. It's a pity, but is there the problem side? And that's why some people are discouraged from getting married. When they see the things that happen in marriage,
Yes.
they're not happy. They think it's better for them to remain single, but it's not better to remain single. It's always better to be married. If God said it's not good to be single, then it's not good.
Yes.
It's not, even though it has so many downside, it's still something good. It's still good. It has the good side, but we can't complain about the good side. We can only complain about what's not working.
Yes.
If nobody talks about the good side of their marriage, they only complain. They only keep on complaining.
Yes. So true. It's very true. And I think, as you share that, it's so touching. And and it's like, God did say it's not good for a man to be alone.
Yeah.
Therefore, we should find ourselves in a marriage union that, but I also, and I think what's happened, and which is what I love about this ministry and us really promoting this to really reach the wider world. And that's for all of us to take that responsibility. It's because people are lacking knowledge. God said, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. And marriage is suffering because of lack of knowledge. Those who are single are living alone because of lack of knowledge. Because if we know how, the Bible do say, the older people should teach the younger women how to love their husbands. And equally, which means that we need to be taught how
mm,
to do something, how to be a wife, how to be a husband.
mm,
Because I think in this day and age, men don't know how to be husbands,
mm,
women don't know how to be wives. And
mm.
we're just going along in trial and error because we don't know. And when it's not working, and that's all we see, and then we're not
Mm.
seeing what is also working.
We don't see the positive side. Yes, we are looking for the ones that's not working. In fact,
Yeah,
people consciously search for what is not working every
yeah,
day. They're checking for what is not working instead of focusing on what is working. They're focusing on
yes.
the one that's not working.
Yes. And because, when we put our attention to that, that's what we program our mind
To
and
see,
ourselves
yeah,
to see, because that is what we will keep seeing. Is
because
what
that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see.
yes.
It's
So it's self-fulfilled prophecy in a way, because what you've put your attention to, that's
it's
where
what
your
happens to you.
energy goes.
So this is a comment from Ikeria Sampson. She said it's possible that she was the one footing the bills and the man got used to not spending, like
Mm,
she indulged him. Okay, it's talking about the woman that borrowed money to the husband. She's trying to justify the action that probably she was the one footing the bills and wanted to make the man to be responsible by borrowing the money to him instead of giving him the money. That's what she said. It's
yeah.
possible also, but the man, when it happened, was not happy. He left the marriage. The man complained so much how he had been spending money. He had spent money. He was working. He was working. The man was working. If he wasn't working, the woman wife wouldn't ask him to buy a car for her. He was working, but he didn't have enough savings, because of the expenses, and he was spending the money on the wife. you know, that was a very sad story. Hi, it was very, very sad story. The one left the marriage. People tried talking to him. He did not listen to anybody.
Wow.
And it's unfortunately.
Wow.
So, Sir Patricia says, I'm so blessed to listen to the points we are covering tonight. Wow, fantastic.
And she also goes on to say, I love the teaching here so much. Oh, we are so happy you're enjoying it, Sister Patricia. We hope many of you are. So please send in your comments, share it with people, share it with your friends and family. Let them learn so they can also have a happy marriage, because a happy marriage is a happy family. A happy family
Mhm.
is a happy early childhood, and a happy early childhood is a happy and productive adult to our society. And
Society, the whole world, everything.
so this ministry is not just about us, it's about our generations to
Mm,
come,
mm,
and going forward is the world we're going to live. So what our children see in our household is what they're going to build as their associations, to how they see marriage, and how, because the parents, we don't know whether this family's got children or not. So we don't even know whether the children are, if he goes and then he doesn't come home and the children don't see him for days and so on, or there's or the woman is the one raising the children all by herself. We can speculate, but
mm,
what we know is a happy home is where it all begins.
mm,
And the more we can share this knowledge with everybody, those who are single, especially those who are single, so
mm.
they know how to prepare before they go into the marriage life. So please share with everybody and comment more. We would love to hear more from all of you. But Pastor, going back to this lady, and when she said now he's gone
Mm.
and he's not even answering her call, what can she do, or what she should do?
I think like I said earlier on, she needs to identify why the husband, keeps leaving her. If she's able to find out, then she needs to contact her family
Mhm,
so that they will speak to the guy's family
mhm,
and try to bring them together. Then she will not then make amends to that thing that triggered, the behavior,
Okay.
the ungodly behavior,
Mm.
and try to correct it. But for the man to come back, she needs to involve the family.
Okay.
Involving the family is good. It's good.
Mm.
It does not mean a person is foolish by involving the family. If you try solving your problem and it's not working, then involve family, because some men will listen to their parents or
Mm.
listen to their siblings when they speak to them. They respect because they respect them.
Yes.
They respect them. And anyone who does not listen to the parents may not listen to anybody again. So
Mm.
that person may not listen to anybody again.
Mm.
Because I'm sure she must have tried talking to the pastor, to their pastor, because he was a leader or he's a leader in the church. I think that's the
Mm.
first thing she should do,
Yeah.
to speak to the pastor. The pastor should call him. But in most cases, the guy would, threaten or want the wife never to discuss their matter with the church, with anybody, so that they wouldn't know him as a bad person in the church. They would be seeing him as a very good man without knowing that he perpetuates evil on the
Mm.
world. You know.
Mm.
So that's it.
But what should she do then if he's, just say he has warned her not to tell anybody about his behavior in the household?
It's not a good thing to be maltreating somebody and tell the person not to talk. I don't. It doesn't make sense to me. If you don't want the person to talk, then stop doing what you are doing. If you don't do it, then why should she say it? But
Mm.
if you are treating her, she has to speak out, because some people, if they don't speak out, it affects them
Mm.
mentally. It affects them
Yes.
mentally. Apart from that, if she needs help, then she needs to speak out. To
Mm.
somebody who can provide help, someone
Mm.
like a pastor or the guy's family, people the guy can listen to. Then they will try to settle the issue and ask the guy what is the problem. So the guy can now say what the problem is. If he does not say it, if she's able to find out what she thinks she was doing before, right, but she doesn't do it anymore, then she starts, you know, making amends. But they need to be together first before she
Mm.
can make amends. They have to
Mm.
be together. And she has to become, at least start taking care of her body, because the guy may not be able to say it. It may
Mm.
be something that has to do with her body. Maybe it can even be body odor. It can be something the guy cannot say. It can
Mm.
be mouth odor. It can be the fact that she doesn't look sweet. She doesn't look attractive because she doesn't take care of herself when she's indoor.
Mm.
It can be so many things. And
Mm.
maybe she's busy working hard at home, cleaning the house, cooking food, doing everything. She'll be complaining that she works so hard. But that's not what the guy is looking for. That's not what the guy is looking for. You know, it's life is just so fun.
Mm.
It's so fun.
Mm. Mm. Wow.
Mm,
That is so interesting
mm,
to hear that. Because it's interesting when you said, she might be working hard
mm.
and that's not what the man is looking
Yeah.
for.
Mm,
And sometimes we focus our attention on working so hard.
mm,
And when he probably is not looking for another competitor,
mm,
he just wants her to be more feminine, more like a
mm,
wife, and
mm.
just attend to his needs and
Yeah.
then allow him the opportunity to
Mm,
go and fend and look after her. But if she's too busy working hard and not caring about how she looks, and
mm,
without saying it, but the visual appealingness or is not there.
mm.
Um, and then when he sees other women, he sees them more attractive.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a dilemma.
It is indeed.
What a dilemma.
Okay. Well, time is gone.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
It's amazing how time flies.
Well, it's been an amazing topic.
Mm,
And it's been so insightful with so many layers with
mm,
this dilemma we've
mm,
got.
mm,
And I think probably more topics and discussions will come out of some of those things that she has actually shared with us, and we will continue to discuss it. So please, everybody, do send in your requests, your dilemmas, your issues, what you're dealing with, and those around you, and let's see how we can, kind of bring it together and dissect it and get the wisdom of the man of God, and leading us on how we can actually build a happy home with our, without having to experience some of these things ourselves. Pastor?
Okay. Thank you very much. So send your issues, relationship issues, to my email, pastorchris@singlesandmarried.org. And you can also send it to my Facebook inbox, and I will get it at once. And next Thursday, we're going to be live again to discuss another issue. And if you send yours, we may discuss yours next week. If we don't, you keep waiting until we discuss yours. And it doesn't have to be yours. If you know somebody that has something, an issue, let us know about it so that we can provide solution. It's about solution, discussing true life stories, real issues, And the advantage of that is that because it happened really to somebody, and we provide the solution, when a similar thing, God forbid, happens to you or to someone you will be able to advise the person.
Yes.
So it helps prevents you from having similar occurrence in the future. So it's something good because it's rare.
That is fantastic, because it is about prevention, and prevention is better than a cure. And this is what we're here about, is really preventing and building a happy home. So with that said, sister, I hope you watched and we discussed your matter. And then I hope you got some really great insights and tips on what you can do. Like Pastor says, just to summarize it to you, is all about looking at the root cause. Is it something you're doing or not doing, or just is about self-reflection? Don't take it personally. Don't think too much about it. Just think about, is it anything that I'm doing that might be contributing it or triggering his behavior? And if it is, look at ways to correct it. And if it isn't, maybe have a discussion with him and say, is it something, have I offended you in a way? Maybe let me know. And you can apologize. You can discuss it and find ways to move on. Get in touch with your family members, his family members, and look at ways that you can actually see whether they would be able to reach out to him since he's not at home, and be able to bring you two together, and you both can start working on your relationship. At the end of the day, nothing is perfect. However, we can work towards perfection, and we can trust God to be able to repair anything. And also, we also have to remember we are the vessel that God uses to show mercy and love to one another, especially in our marriage. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Sister EJ, and thank you everyone for joining us today. This is the Maiden edition. I encourage you to join us next week, Thursday, at the same time. It's going to be for 60 minutes every week. And invite your loved ones to join too. And when you join, I want you to interact, to get set with some questions you'll be asking next week, even if the questions are not related to the topic. As long as they are relationship questions, you are free to ask your question. The program gives us the opportunity to interact with you one-on-one and know what you are passing through, how it can be of help to you, and how you can move forward. Not only that, you're also empowered to help others, to be a blessing to others. So that's what it's all about, equipping you to help solve your relationship issues and to empower you to be a blessing to others around you.
Amen.
Thank you very much. God bless you. You will have a good weekend in Jesus' name. This year is a good year for you. It is a year of full reward.
Amen.
You will have your full reward for every work you've done in the kingdom. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
God bless you, and have a good night.
Yes.
In Jesus' name.
I will look forward to seeing you next week.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Singles and married, this is your time for a beautiful change. Hope for the future.
Oh, it's